So guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a new series that I'm going to be calling Tino Rant Time. Okay? I'm gonna be ranting about society, politics, philosophy. I just thought it'd be something fun, for me and maybe for you as well, to be able to have a little bit of rant about something, but also gain something insightful as we go along. So, welcome to Tino Rant Time, this new series. Tell me what you think about it. Tino, what are you gonna be ranting about today? Well, I thought let me take a bash on incel culture. What are incels? Are they just virgins that can't get laid? Guys who just hate women? Guys who think women should be subservient? There's also a lot of child exploitation and, pedophilia within incel groups as well. Are incels just failed men? I think there's a lot more to incel culture that actually we should be taking a look at. So incels, when I was doing my research, are men that, one, don't have a girlfriend, usually have never had sex. They communicate over chat rooms where sometimes you can see a lot of sexist, racist, homophobic, and really arcane thoughts of what women should be. And I'm not saying that we should promote such a culture, but I think there's more to incel culture than we realize. When I was doing my research about incel cultures, a lot of the men just seemed isolated and alone. They have found a community in other men that feel the way that they do. And we know there is a loneliness crisis amongst men. We know that just generally in society, we are a lot less connected with each other. I think social media has sort of made it easier to connect, but also not. Incel cultures use online communities to connect with each other. And I remember hearing somebody that was an incel on this video that I watched, and they say, when I go outside, I don't feel connected to women at all. Imagine that. Not feeling connected to 51% of the population. How isolating is that? How fearful is that when you think, how am I going to talk to women? How am I going to engage with women? Some of them had good relationships with their moms, some of them didn't. Some of them couldn't say that they had a female role model in their life. I wonder how that shapes and impacts someone's view of women. Now, I'm not condoning any of the sexist, racist, homophobia and violence, and there's been incels who have gone out and done horrible acts. But just like any subculture that feels isolated and is being radicalized and doesn't have a connection with others, there are going to be extreme actors in every one of them. There are people in different subcultures and religions that commit heinous crimes, but we don't paint a brush and say all people are like this in this subset of groups, do we? We say actually they're a bit of a rogue actor and they're not representative of the whole of the group, the whole of the community. There is a lot of mental health that is going on within incel culture. A majority of them suffer from anxiety and depression, and there could be even more severe mental health issues. So if we see incels as men who actually struggle in society, then maybe not give them not cut them some slack, but there's a lot of incels that are out there that are trying to get jobs, that are trying to improve their confidence, that are trying to do better and be better. So are incels just failed men? To a certain extent, yes. Society has failed them. They've failed themselves. The world has sort of failed them. Because they are men that are isolated. They are men that are struggling with their mental health. They are men that are struggling to find a purpose and understand who they want to be in this world. I have not, and I am still not 100% confident with women, right? I have had girlfriends. I'm not a virgin. I can talk to women, but I think it's more because I can just talk to anybody. But it's not something which I feel like has hindered me. And maybe within incel culture, there's a bit of victim sort of thinking and like, oh, poor me, the world is hard. Yeah, the world is bloody hard, mate. But you've got to try and do better. But maybe what's stopping you from trying and doing better is that you don't have a community around you. Is that all you're doing is being in your bedroom and you have anxiety about leaving your house and you suffer from severe depression. There could be a lot of things that are going on for incels, for these men. And there are men that are trying to break the cycle, that are trying to not be in such a toxic environment, and I applaud those men. But I also think we should give grace to some of the ones that are still engrossed in this culture, right? I feel bad for them. I really do feel bad for them. Now, you guys probably were like, Tino, this is supposed to be a rant. Where's the ranting? Listen, I told you, it's gonna be a bit of a rant, but you're gonna get something insightful at the same time, and it's not always gonna be just a rant. And I feel bad for them. That's also why I'm not vilifying them and saying that they're awful men and ridiculing them, saying they're virgins and, you know, they can't hack being a man, they need to get to the gym. I think there's loads of things that as a man we should be doing. But I also think that when we put restraints on what masculinity looks like, we then leave the door open for men who are already lost to try and seek that in a community that isn't helpful for them. So if you guys liked a bit of Tino rant time, I know it wasn't really like proper ranty, and I'll have some ones to rant on. Ask me about this conservative government. Oh my gosh, I'm recording this before the May election. So I'll put out not May election, local elections. Either way, oh my gosh, the state of the UK. And the UK government's just been rubbish. Listen. Right, next rant time is gonna be about the conservative government, because I could rant about them corrupt men and women for ages. So if you wanna hear that, then tune in for the next Tino rant time. For now, why not subscribe? We'll talk very soon.